Guess what? The NEVI program for the EV charger infrastructure is back. The Department of Transportation just finalized the new guidance for the NEVI funding formula program. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some of the changes that they made, because they did make changes. And also, I made a video a little over 6 months ago discussing what I thought was some of the reasons they were going to end the program. And we're going to go and take a look and see if any of my predictions were correct. So let's go ahead and get into this. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day today. So we're going to talk about the NEVI funding formula. We're going to look at some of the changes that were made by the Department of Transportation and the Trump administration. And we're going to see, did it actually make it better? We're going to look and see. And also we're going to look to see if my predictions were correct. I'm going to show some clips from some older videos as far as explaining what I thought were some of the reasons why they were going to end the NEVI funding formula program. And I'll just show you this video right here. And I'll also link this video in the description where I go over in detail why I thought they were going to end the program. And I would have to say that I think I was pretty spot on, and I would like to know what you think also. And also, if you haven't already, go ahead and take a few moments and hit that like and subscribe button if you like this content. And this really helps the YouTube algorithm to push this information out to people who really need to see it or people want to see it. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. And so we're at the Federal Highway Administration's webpage, and we're going to just go over what the press release, and it says President Trump's Transportation Secretary Sean P. Duffy unveils revised NEVI guidance to allow states to actually build EV chargers. And we just kind of skip through here because I think some of this is pretty interesting. NEVI was established to fund states' deployment of EV charging infrastructure, but Biden and Buttigieg added requirements that were difficult to understand and implement. Earlier this year, Secretary Duffy and the Federal Highway Administration launched a review of the program's guidance to make the NEVI program more efficient. At the time, 84% of the NEVI formula program funds remain unobligated, a clear signal of the program's failure. Under the interim final guidance, states should submit their EV infrastructure deployment plans within 30 days of this date of this guidance. And in the video that I discussed, I talked about that I didn't think this was a violation of the Impoundment Control Act because this was just like, they're just frozen funds. They didn't claw the money back. And still, really, if you look at the timetable that I discussed, they're still within that timetable because normally the plans have to be submitted in August of every year prior to the beginning of the fiscal year, then following fiscal year, and that'd be October 1st. And so really, this may have been a slight delay, but it didn't stop the program. And just go over some of the findings that they found. Findings of the U.S. Department of Transportation review of failed implementation of the EV program. In this unique program, Congress granted the Secretary authority to issue guidance for states and localities to strategically deploy electric vehicle charging infrastructure. The Biden-Buttigieg administration wasted time, money, public trust in implementing the program. The Biden-Buttigieg administration? Okay. Am I in the right universe? Or is there a Biden-Buttigieg administration that I missed? Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next one. The Federal Highway Administration has worked to streamline the NEVI formula program guidance to align with the Trump administration priorities of safety, efficiency, and innovation. During the review process, no new obligations occurred under the program, and reimbursement of existing obligations continued. They were still reimbursing existing obligations, but they didn't allow any new ones to be added. And so let's just go over the summary of changes. And it says updated language. Per Executive Order 14154, unleashing American energy, this new guidance document would eliminate previous mandates for EVs and potential burdens. In addition, it will also rescind previous guidance documents and policies that were not required by clear and express statutory language per the January 29, 2025 memorandum from the Secretary of Transportation on implementation of executive orders addressing energy, climate change, diversity, and gender. And again, in that previous video that I made 6 months ago, and it's called DEIN's Electric Vehicle Charging Program, I'll go over all these documents in detail. And so if you can go ahead and check that out. And so now we're just going to go over some of the summary of changes, and because some of these things may be actually good. And it says right here, some of your changes: minimize the content in state plans to statutory and regulatory requirements. So I guess they're just trying to cut some of the red tape out. Simplifies the state plan approval process. Aligns community engagement with regulatory requirements and reduces consultation requirements to advance projects. Provides states with flexibility to determine the appropriate distance between stations along alternative fuel corridors to allow for reasonable travel. And this, I know this is a point of contention with a lot of states because they were saying, especially in these rural states where it's a lot of distance between gas stations and things like that, they said they were having issues getting into compliance with having a charging station every 50 miles. And they wanted some more flexibility with that. So this should help there. It also minimizes requirements for states to consider electric grid integration and renewable energy. So this may help with the deployment of chargers. Although it can be a dirtier energy source, those things can always be cleaned up in the future. But the important thing is that this will help speed up the charging installation process. Accelerates project delivery by encouraging selection of charging locations where station owners are also the site hosts, like gas stations. So that's excellent. And so that'll really be helpful because these places are already in place and they're usually within a mile off the highway exit. And they usually have facilities you can use and places to eat and things like that. Eliminates requirements for states to address consumer protections, emergency evacuation plans, environmental sittings, resilience, and terrain considerations. Really wonder what they mean. I know some of the environmental consumer protections were ability to have a way to pay and also a 1-800 number to call. And so I'm not sure if that is what they're referring to. I have to look further into the guidance to see if they really spell it out, exactly what they mean by that. And finally, provide states with more flexibility to determine when their system is built out, allowing NEVI funds to be used on public roads statewide. And so this, I believe, was already a part of that once the states put their designated charges in along the alternative fuel corridors, then they can put them anywhere they wanted to if they had any available funds left over. Okay, now let's look at some of the things that they rescinded. And I'm going to play some clips from the video because I did make a video. Again, it was called Did DEI Kill the EV Charging Program? And I think it did. I think I may be right. Next, we're going to look at some examples of rescinded language. So these are things that they pulled out of the guidance. Okay, first one says plans should be developed and updated through engagement with rural, underserved, and disadvantaged communities to ensure that diverse views are heard and considered throughout the planning process, and to ensure that the development, installation, operation, and the use of EV charging infrastructure achieves equitable and fair distribution of benefits and services. Okay, next one says plans should explain how the state will deliver projects under the NEVI formula program that, consistent with Executive Order EO 14008 and the interim Justice 40 guidance issued by the White House and the U.S. Department of Transportation, target at least 40% of the benefits toward disadvantaged communities. Next one, the plan should also demonstrate how the implementation will promote strong labor safety training and installation standards, as well as opportunities for participation of small businesses, including minority-owned and women-owned businesses. Okay, and here's what I said. And again, this is over 6 months ago. I also read through all the guidance for the Department of Transportation. I was like, okay, what in this guidance do they need to change? So if you look at the NEVI guidance that was put in place under the Biden administration, it says these programs will support the Justice 40 initiatives, which establishes a goal that at least 40% of the benefits of federal investments in climate and clean energy infrastructure are distributed to disadvantaged communities. And it says this does not mean, however, that 40% of all charging infrastructure funded under this program must be located in disadvantaged communities. And so I was like, what is Justice 40? Interestingly enough, the Justice 40 executive order was one of President Biden's first executive orders. And it just so happens to be one of the first, if not the first, executive order that President Trump rescinded. So I find it pretty interesting. And it was also Executive Order 12898, which was signed February 11th, 1994 by President Bill Clinton. And this executive order was for federal actions to address environmental justice in minority populations and low-income populations. And so, and President Trump rescinded that executive order also on day one. So this is one of the reasons why they're going to have to update the guidance, because these executive orders have been rescinded. So now what does it mean for the guidance? And also some other things in here too. So if I put in minority, just go into the search engine and put in minority. And if I go to implementation on page number 16, it says the plan should also demonstrate how the implementation will promote strong labor, safety, training, and installation standards, as well as opportunities for participation of small businesses, including minority-owned and women-owned small businesses. No, you can't do that now. That is considered, I think they call it racism now. Yeah, so that's a no-go. And that's in here a few times. And also on page 16, under equity considerations, which you can't have that anymore, it says a plan should be developed through engagement with rural, underserved, and disadvantaged communities and stakeholders, including relevant suppliers and contractors, and describe how the plan reflects that engagement. And it goes on to say, many of the burdens from transportation and energy systems have been historically and disproportionately borne on the disadvantaged communities. Unequal distribution of benefits from the transportation and energy systems has prevented disadvantaged communities and minority-owned and women-owned businesses from realizing equitable benefits from these systems, while other historic barriers to transportation have made facilities inaccessible to individuals with disabilities. For these reasons, the NEVI formula program will emphasize equity considerations at its inception to avoid exacerbating existing disparities in transportation systems and to develop a convenient, affordable, reliable, and equitable charging experience for all users. That is why I said, this is why I said DEI is a reason that they're going to use to kill the EV charging program. This is going to be an excuse. And we'll find out here come the spring. They want to brag about this. I'm just really curious to see what changes they're going to make. And I think I'm going to be right. And I want to let me know what you think in the comment section. I think I was pretty spot on with my assessment that DEI was going to be the reason that they were going to use to end the NEVI funding program. It's kind of hard to argue against. And also let me know what your thoughts as far as, do you think this is going to help speed up the installation of chargers? Because it was going really slow and there was a lot of red tape, a lot of rules they had to follow, but this may actually help speed it up. And this really bodes well, really again, for these EV startups. Again, we're going back to Rivian because I believe they're best positioned again, because all these chargers are going in, and these OEM manufacturers are not going to be producing as many because they're disincentivized, because there are no more carbon penalties anymore. And they're going to roll back the CAFE standards and going to make these big old trucks and SUVs. And Dodge is ready to make these big Hemi engines again. And yeah, it's going to be clear sailing for Rivian. And also, anyone that's deciding to purchase an electric vehicle, you're going to have free reign at these charging stations. And that is good that these charging stations are going to go in before you get a big mass adoption of people really starting to use these things and really creating a lot of congestion at these charging stations. But just me personally, I think a lot of this is good, but we have to wait and see exactly what some of this vague language really means. But I think this is going to be really helpful as far as really pushing EV adoption now that people can actually see the charging stations are going in. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. But that's all I have for today. I'd like to thank you for joining me once again. And I can't wait to see you on the next video.